Hey, welcome to Old English Outfitters YouTube channel. I'm Alan. So, some time ago, Mossberg, who were well known for shotguns mostly, right, and rifles, produced a pistol. Their first pistol since way back when they made a little 4-barrel 22, right? A lot of you know about this story. It was a subcompact 9mm, 6-round magazines, used Glock 43 pattern mags. Interesting little gun. The shop did a review on it some time back. Well, recently, Mossberg came up with another rendition. Bigger gun. Now this one, the previous one was the MC2C subcompact. This is the MC2. So it's a 9mm recoil-operated semi-automatic pistol. Comes with 2 magazines. Nothing very innovative or new about that. Follows the same pattern as far as how it works as the older gun, the subcompact pistol. But this does have some unique features compared to a lot of other pistols out there that are worth looking at. Now, I mentioned that it comes with 2 magazines, and like a lot of manufacturers have done these days, the magazines are different in capacity. We have a flush fitting to the frame, 13-round 9mm magazine, and then we have a magazine with a little extension on it that holds 15. Now this looks like a sleeve, it's not, which is a nice touch. It's all part of the base plate. So you don't have a sleeve that'll come loose and pinch your hand or anything like that. Kind of a reddish orange, mostly orange magazine follower on either one, so high visibility there. So, and these are metal magazines, by the way, so they seem pretty sturdy. The other thing that's really nice about them, they're not hard to load. The cameraman and I both took turns loading these 2 magazines while we were shooting the gun. Not difficult to load. Sometimes, you run into these things, they're really hard. These weren't too bad. The pistol itself was actually very comfortable to shoot. Shot very true, sights were well regulated, very comfortable, pistol to shoot. We 3 white dots on the sights, 2 in the back, 1 in the front, which is, again, not necessarily innovative, but it's a proven setup that works and works very well. So let's go over the pistol itself, because there are a couple things about it that are a little unique. Polymer frame, of course, steel slide and barrel and all that. The frame has some checkering in a couple different places here. On the front strap, it's got some checkering. There's a very shallow nub right there. It doesn't really give you not really a finger rest or a finger groove. It's just very shallow. I think if those sorts of things don't hit you right or that would bother you, sometimes finger grooves do that. This probably won't, because it's probably shallow enough you're not really going to notice it. Magazine release is reversible, set up on one side on this for a right-hander as it comes from the factory. The bottom of the trigger guard is a little flared right here. It's not just a completely symmetrical piece, so it's a little flared here at the bottom underneath where the actual trigger sets in the back of the trigger guard. A little bit of a beaver tail here. Very nice touch that they did right here, and it's on both sides of the frame, right there and right there. You've got a little depression with some checkering in it. Perfect index point for your finger. If you're right-handed, use that side. If you're left-handed, use that side. Perfect index point for your finger. Like all striker-fired guns, that's what this is. You keep any gun as far as that goes. Doesn't matter, right? You keep your finger off the trigger till you're ready to shoot. You know this. This gives you a nice index point, so you got a spot for your finger to find. Makes it easy to make that index. So that was a nice touch. We've got a little rail up here, so you can put lights, lasers, those types of things that slide on there. Pretty universal setup there, so that works really well too. But, the trigger. The trigger is this in the back of the trigger guard right here, because we've got this locked open. Let's run it forward for a minute. The trigger is fairly straight. It's got a safety piece in the middle of it, like a lot of striker-fired guns, to prevent the trigger from traveling far enough to disengage the internal safety unless you deliberately pull it. If it was dropped, for example, landed on the muzzle. That's what that's for. But the trigger itself is not curved. It's fairly straight. So when you actually get your finger on it, pull it back, it gives you, it being straight, it feels like you're pulling it straight back, not so much at an angle. So, and it's not terribly heavy. It was very manageable out there. Had a little bit of grit to it. Not really a big deal. Didn't really affect the shooting we did. Controls. Gosh, this thing doesn't have much in the way of controls. We've got just two over here. We've got a magazine release in the normal place, and we've got a slide lock and release lever in the normal place. What are we missing? Well, we're missing a takedown lever. There's no takedown lever. How do you take it apart? How do you maintain it? Actually rather ingenious, and by eliminating a takedown lever, you don't have that extra thing going on here in the frame. So what they did was, you have to lock it open to take it apart. Smart idea, because what do we want to do anytime we take a semi-automatic pistol apart, right? What do we want to do? Make sure it's empty and safe, take the magazine out, lock the slide open, inspect the chamber, make sure that we are clear, there's no ammunition in the gun. From there, on the back of this, right back here, the striker piece, there's a little piece that you push in and then this slides down. And you take that back plate off, just slides right off, really easy. Once you've done that, you can hook the striker, which has a yellow end on it so you can see it really clearly. There's the striker assembly, you just pull that out. Once you've done that, release the slide and it comes right off the frame. And then we got the same business we got with any semi-automatic pistol these days. Recoil spring and guide, barrel, slide, and frame. Is there a disadvantage to this? I mean, you don't have to pull the trigger to take it apart. Well, maybe there's a disadvantage in that you end up with a couple smaller pieces that you don't want to lose. So, but hey, if you're cleaning one of these things, you ought to set yourself a little area aside so you can manage all this stuff anyway, right? If you're sitting on a couch watching TV and you lose it in the couch, whose fault's that? Goes back together, same way, barrel goes back in. This is pretty conventional. Most of these things do this, right? Recoil spring guide goes back in. Now, the striker you don't want to put back in until you put the slide back on the frame. If you put it back in first, it won't let you take it all the way back. Make sure that's in the right spot. Slide this all the way back and lock it open, okay? Once we're back in that position, slide the striker back in. Doesn't require any pressure. You're not compressing the spring. Take the back plate, put that back on there. You got to compress that spring just a little bit, and it slides right back up in there. Function check it. Works okay, locks open okay, works okay. Reset, works. Function check, we're good. So somewhat unique in it doesn't have that external takedown lever. Comfortable pistol to shoot. We racked it with both by just manually racking the slide and then also tripping the slide release. Worked fine. You do have some short, I should say, not really shallow. We have some short front cocking serrations up here, normal cocking serrations on the back. Nice gun. Nice gun. Retails for about $409, which isn't bad. You need a little less expensive second gun for the house or for the RV or the cabin or something, or just something to keep at home, or just an extra piece, or something that you don't want to put a whole lot of money in, but it's very shootable. Good choice. We liked it. We shot it a little bit out there. We put probably 100 rounds or a little more through it. Impressive. Nice little gun. So we would suggest this, recommend it as another good option if you're looking for a pistol these days, which a lot of people are. Okay? So that's all we have for right now on this. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter. You can always visit our website, of course. So that's all I have for right now. I'm Alan from Askoeoutfitters, and we'll see you next time.